a random thought, sorry. A little ADHD squirrel maybe.
Squirrel.
But I think you just never know when you have that 1 second when someone will come up to you and tell you, and you're like, you don't even remember it, or you do remember it, and it was so life-changing for both of you, right? Like, I can, just even the other day, it's funny, Kathy Bullock, one of the great ambassadors at headquarters, she made the comment to me, and she was like, I remember the first time you told me to pick up 30s. I'm like, I couldn't tell you what year that was. I can't tell you if we were in this location or the new location. I can't tell you anything about it, but like, she remembers that, right? Like, yep. And so what if I didn't say that to her that day? You just never know. So you have to understand that every decision, especially when you're in a position, for anybody, but I think especially for you and I and people that have greater communities behind you, for those of us that are teachers, there's thousands of kids, there's parents, there's community members for you, there's the franchise partners and, trainers and everyone. And you just, to slip, we're not trying to set up perfection, but you just never know when that one thing is going to just all of a sudden change somebody. And so why do I not want to give that my best, right? Because that's what I do. Like, that's very important to me. And that's almost the biggest compliment anyone can give me, right? Like, Kathy didn't know that the other day, right? Like, she was just reminiscent or something. But, like, for me, that's like, wow. Like, I do want to be people's cheerleaders, and I do want to be, but like, that just made my day, right? Like, and then it makes me want to keep pushing myself and then pushing other people around me, and keep doing that. So we have to keep that in perspective. Like, you think sometimes just, you never know when you're impacting people, but when you're in a people business like we are, people will throw you for a loop with something that they remember that you said or that you did, and you're just like, I don't remember, what we were doing that day.
Yeah, we've gone on the journey of self-actualization together throughout the years, and it's a beautiful thing, because it's such a complex array of different circumstances, and every day is new, and every month is new, and every year is new. And isn't it amazing, though, what happens when you consistently, for a decade, as you have so documented here in front of us, when you consistently pull up and just work on yourself, right? You're like one of the most dedicated people with focus meetings. We used to have one almost every month without missing, and that's it. Like, that's it. That's the work, right? And even if you're, we both started off pretty clunky. When I first started focus meetings, I didn't know how to help anybody. I didn't know half of the things I'm talking about, not even like a quarter of it, but we never pretended that we did. And, it was like, I'd go figure something out, and, we'd
it's still the accountability.
Patch together a game plan.
I mean, we all need that accountability, right? Like, I mean, that's, you can't you have to inspect what you expect. That's always, what gets said in my profession. So I can tell teachers I want them to do this, but if I don't show up, I don't really know if they're doing it. And if they're doing it correctly, that's not always I got you. That's let me help coach you if you don't know how to do it. Or if you're nailing it, let me praise you and encourage you, whatever. And so same thing as just, I totally encourage Burn Nation. I know you hear it a lot, but the focus meetings, and if you're at a location, find the person. I mean, there's definitely people that you connect with differently. So sometimes you just have to do the one that's at that time. But if you don't click, try someone else, or, try through everyone until you find that person that really is going to challenge you, and also hold you accountable, and then set it on the calendar. That's just what I had to do. It was I don't know, I think it was the 15th or something, around the 16th, somewhere around the 16th of every month, I mean, it was at the midway point. I knew it was it's time for a focus meeting, whether that was good or bad, whether I was going to be excited. I mean, for a long time it was exciting, right? And it was exciting not just about weight. I love you need the waist and the arms and the legs. You need those different things. We all have areas that we want to work on, but it'll surprise you when all of a sudden you're like, wait, I lost that in my waist. Like I was worried about my arms, or I'm worried about, like I'm trying to, and then you realize that you've gone down somewhere else. And that little positive win of the day just makes you say, like, I can't wait for tomorrow.
Right.
Right. Like,
Right.
And so I put it on the calendar. That's all I can tell you is put it on the calendar, stick to it for a few months, find the right person. You are totally worth it to do it for yourself.
That's beautiful. The responsibility piece we're talking about of, your every action, my every action having a big ripple effect in our communities. A lot of people, that type of responsibility is crushing, and I just wanted to say that it doesn't start there. At first it starts with the responsibility of you. Like when you first started Burn, let's just put it at that moment in time, was a big step in terms of your personal journey, right? Like your personal responsibility, you, like you connecting back with you first, right? And then you connect, and then you go through a divorce, right?
Yeah.
That connection wasn't there. You took care of the immediate intimate connection, whatever needed to happen with that immediate intimate connection, that was next, right? And then it's your greater family, and then it's your job, and then it's maybe your community, and then it's your state or whatever. I think so many people start at like, I need to take over the world, when I haven't reconciled me with me yet, or me with the past versions of myself, or me then with my partner, or me with my brother or my sister, without having, so many people try to take on responsibility. That's what we mean when we say, oh, I have this crushing responsibility. And you're to the point where you've gone through those layers. I'm to the point where we've gone through these layers. And now what we're trying to do, as we get wider and wider and wider and wider with our reach and our influence, the tweaks become more minute. They become less obvious than they used to be when we were trying to connect with ourselves and figure out, why do I feel this depressive way? And so I just wanted to say that, because we talked a lot about the psychological nature of the responsibility, and we were coming from the lens of, taking over the world. I just think it's important that I say clean your car out before you start trying to, save the world.